Every year, trucks get torn in half, and people get seriously hurt on trails because somebody hooked a strap to the wrong part of a vehicle and stood in the wrong place. Recovery gear is the one category where buying wrong doesn't just waste money. It breaks frames, snaps bumpers, and sends steel flying through windshields. Today we're ranking the 7 pieces of off-road recovery gear that actually matter, counted down from the stuff you should carry to the gear that will save your truck and possibly your life. No hype, no sponsored picks. Just what works when your rig is buried to the axles and the sun is going down. Stick around for number 1, because it's the item most people buy last and wish they'd bought first. Number 7, heavy-duty gloves and a winch line damper. Nobody gets excited about gloves, but a synthetic winch rope under load will slice bare hands open, and a steel cable will fill your palms with wire splinters. A pair of thick leather work gloves cost less than lunch and lives in the recovery bag forever. The line damper matters even more. It's a weighted blanket you drape over a winch line or strap during a pull. If the line snaps, the damper drives it into the dirt instead of letting it whip through the air at highway speed. A recovery line under tension stores energy like a drawn bow. The damper is what keeps that energy from finding a person. Throw a jacket or a floor mat over the line if you have nothing else, but a real damper is cheap insurance. Number 6, a folding shovel. This is the most underrated item on the entire list. Half the recoveries that turn into broken gear started as a stuck truck that just needed 20 minutes of digging. Clearing sand from in front of all 4 tires, knocking down the hump of dirt under the differential, cutting a ramp out of a rut. A shovel turns a violent recovery into a gentle one. Look for a full-size folding shovel with a steel blade and a real handle, not the tiny camp trowel that folds into a pouch. The flimsy ones bend the first time they hit clay. Dig first, pull second. That order saves drivetrains. Number 5, traction boards. These are the bright orange ramps you see bolted to the side of every overland rig. And unlike a lot of trail fashion, they earn their spot. Wedge them under a spinning tire in sand, snow, or mud, and the aggressive teeth give the tread something to climb onto. No other vehicle required, no lines under tension, no stored energy waiting to let go. That makes traction boards the safest recovery tool you can own. They double as a bridge over small ditches and a base for a jack in soft ground. Budget pairs work fine for occasional use, but if you wheel in sand often, the name brand boards resist melting when a tire spins on them. Either way, 2 boards minimum, 4 if you travel alone. Number 4, soft shackles. This is where the safety ranking gets serious. A traditional steel bow shackle weighs over a pound, and if a recovery goes wrong, that steel becomes a cannonball. A soft shackle is a loop of synthetic rope, stronger than the steel it replaces, and it weighs a few ounces. If it fails, it falls to the ground instead of flying through a rear window. Soft shackles connect straps to recovery points, join 2 straps together, and link a kinetic rope to a truck without any metal in the system. They cost about $30. They float in mud and water so you don't lose them, and they're gentler on painted bumpers. Carry at least 2. There is almost no reason to use steel shackles on a trail recovery anymore. Number 3, a kinetic recovery rope. This is the tool that changed trail recoveries. Unlike a static tow strap, a kinetic rope stretches up to 30% under load and then snaps back, using the momentum of the moving truck like a rubber band to pop the stuck truck free. The pull builds smoothly instead of hitting like a hammer, which is exactly why old school chain and static strap recoveries, brake frames, and kinetic recoveries usually don't. Size matters here. The rope should be rated at 2 to 3 times the weight of the stuck vehicle, so a typical full-size truck wants a rope rated around 30,000 pounds. Pair it with those soft shackles for number 4, and you have a recovery system with no metal projectiles anywhere in it. Number 2, rated recovery points. Here's the uncomfortable truth. All the expensive rope in the world doesn't matter if it's hooked to the wrong part of the truck. Tie-down loops from the factory are for strapping the vehicle to a trailer, not for yanking it out of a bog, and they shear off under kinetic load. And never, under any circumstances, recover off a tow ball. Tow balls snap off and have killed people sitting in the cab of the pulling truck. A real recovery point is a forged steel hook or hoop bolted through the frame with grade-rated hardware designed to take a shock load at an angle. Most trucks need them added front and rear. This is the least glamorous purchase in off-roading, and the one that prevents the worst accidents. Check your truck today. If you don't know where you'd hook a strap, you don't have recovery points. And number 1, a winch with synthetic rope. When you're alone, sunk past the frame rails, with no second truck in sight, nothing else on this list gets you home. A winch is self-recovery, mounted to a proper winch bumper, sized at roughly 1.5 times your truck's loaded weight. It will walk a stuck rig out of a hole an inch at a time with total control. Choose synthetic rope over steel cable. It's lighter, it doesn't develop razor-sharp burrs, and it stores far less deadly energy if it breaks. Yes, a quality winch with rope, a bumper, and wiring is the most expensive item here. It's also the one that ends the conversation. Trucks with winches don't spend the night on the trail. So here's the honest takeaway. Buy the gloves, the damper, the shovel, and the soft shackles first because they're cheap and they're the safety layer. Add traction boards and a kinetic rope and you can handle 90% of stucks with a buddy. Install real recovery points before you use any of it. And when the budget allows, the winch turns you from the person who needs help into the person who gives it. If this list saved you from buying the wrong gear, hit that like button so it reaches the next driver before they hook a strap to a tow ball. Subscribe for a new build or gear breakdown every week. And drop a comment below with the one piece of recovery gear that's actually saved you on the trail. Your story might keep someone else's truck in one piece. See you out there.